Welcome back to our peanut gallery, and thank you for those who are just joining us today.
Hi everyone. As usual, I'm Joseph.
Jolene.
We decided to do a video where we tell our stories, kind of go back. Not everything, obviously, because that would take a lot of videos. And she decided she wants me to go first. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do today. I will go into as little detail as possible, just give you an idea of why I guess I have some of the issues I have in work, and I'm not going to go into everything. I was born in 1977. I'm not going to say my actual birthday. 77. My earliest memory is actually in front of the television set. Well, I don't know if it's my earliest, but I remember this vividly. Doing a puzzle of Popeye the Sailor Man cartoon character. When I was a kid, I loved Popeye the Sailor. Now, I don't remember this was before or after I seen the movie with Robin Williams. But yeah, that's a memory just popped in my head the other day. Doing a Popeye the Sailor Man puzzle. Anyway, grew up in a trailer park, as you are well aware. I have 3 sisters. I almost said 4 sisters. No, I got 3. 1 older, 2 younger. But one's like 17 years younger than me. You haven't met her yet. And there's a lot of, I don't know if I want to say abuse or not. Conditioning, like verbally and everything like that. Like, growing up I had a stutter. Bad stutter. And I had trouble pronouncing THs together. I think I told you this.
You pronounce them as Fs?
I pronounce TH together as an F.
A lot of children
So
do
like
that.
my sisters and neighbor kids would kind of trick me. Say fuck. I couldn't say it. So you know what I said. So I got in trouble a lot, even though my parents knew I had that condition, and I was in speech therapy for fuck's sakes. See, I said it on purpose that time. Can't get in trouble. Actually, yeah, I suppose I could, but that's not the point. So I dealt with a lot of that, like name calling, hitting, stuff like that. I mean, obviously kids had it worse. We all know that, but I don't judge it that way. I know some people that do. We moved. I lost my best friend. Well, I didn't lose him. I know where he went. I know where he was. But he actually lives in this subdivision here. That's where his parents moved. So the best times of my life were at that house up the road with Mike and his family. We used to rent movies, eat a lot of junk food we shouldn't eat, run the roads.
Blockbuster.
Yeah. Like, I miss, we were talking about this the other day, I miss on a Friday night going to rent movies, trying to decide what the hell I haven't seen yet. It was a big ordeal for me. You wouldn't have that kind of problem, no, would you? No. She wouldn't have that problem.
I'd be running the woods and enjoying nature.
We used to do a lot of exploring. Like, I used to get nosebleeds, not because of exploring, but we used to do that. We were kids. We were outside playing, skateboarding down the hill here towards PepsiCo. Do you have a question?
No, but you're rambling.
I do that. I ramble. I get talking about stuff, reminiscing about hanging out with Mike and stuff, and the best times of my childhood were with Mike, so I could talk about it for hours and hours, but I'll try not to.
You don't have hours.
No, we don't. We don't have hours. So, yeah. I'd go over there on weekends, especially during the summer and stuff, and one of my sisters, I'm not going to name any names.
You know who you are.
Like,
I know who it is.
right in front of my dad, like, I'm going to make it so you can't go to Mike's this weekend. And then she'd make up some shit story so I wouldn't be allowed to go. And I was like the family scapegoat, which we'll get to with your video as well.
Yes, we will.
Like, no matter what happens, like, I got shit for shit happened. I wasn't even home. Or the same happened in school a lot, actually. Like, somebody threw a spitball, like, he's not even here today, but I got blamed for it. Like, happened quite a bit in grade 9.
Getting blamed for things you didn't do.
I got bullied in school. I got bullied at home. Like, as I said in my previous channel, like, 8 years old, wishing I was dead. And I thought Bill Cosby was my real dad. That's actually a true story. No idea why I thought it. But when I was a kid, I was convinced Bill Cosby was my real dad. And someday he's going to find me.
You never looked in the mirror, did you?
Not often. Still don't. But yeah. In retrospect, though, I guess if everything's happened with Bill Cosby, it's kind of good he wasn't my real dad.
You ever wonder why you were, like, seriously?
I never, just for some reason, I was convinced Bill Cosby was my dad. I don't know if someone told me that or if I just latched onto the Cosby Show, right? I have no clue. Like, why not Tony Danza from Who's the Boss, but Bill Cosby?
Because he wasn't really family-oriented as much as the Bill Cosby was portrayed as.
Yeah, Bill Cosby Show was far-fetched, but they were right loving and shit. So, I got on a ramble again talking about Bill Cosby.
I don't know, Perfect Strangers just popped to my head.
Oh, Perfect Stranger is a great theme song.
It was a great show. I wish I could find it. Hey, speaking of which, any viewers know where we can find that TV show?
Perfect
Please.
Strangers.
email it to us. Put it on the comments. Whatever. I really want to watch that show again. Back to
That'd
you.
be good. Yeah. So teenage years happened. I got bullied in school. I ended up getting expelled because I didn't like going to school and fighting and
Who liked school?
weird people. I ended up getting my GED. I did end up getting my
Good
GED.
for you.
I went, got some courses like administrative, medical computer, administrative, legal computer. I turned to drugs, I think, at 14. I think I was 14 when I first started. Like, smoked my first joint type thing. Gradually from there, I started to go on other
Knives.
stuff. And
Hot knives for me.
I did hot knives a lot when I was like 17, 18. Got in a lot of trouble for ruining knives at home. But anyway, made a mistake of using my mom's knives. Like I wasn't going to get caught.
You weren't thinking. Your cognitive functioning wasn't
Oh, we were
fully
thinking
developed.
just not of that.
Your cognitive functioning was not fully developed at that point in time in your life.
So yeah, I turned to drugs. I
What was
went
your
to
favorite drug?
my favorite at that point or in general?
At that point.
At that point, probably just weed. Like I did
you never
mushrooms
did
and
anything.
hash and stuff like that.
At age
but-
14?
Oh, 14? 14 was just weed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 17 it was what?
Probably weed and hash.
19?
Don't remember much of 19.
So what happened to 18? 'Cause
I
that's
don't. Like, I tell people think I'm joking. A lot of my, like, 18 to 25 or so, I don't remember a lot of it.
What happened in that time frame prior to, like, was your head injury?
No,
Was
my
you
head
hit by the
injury
car?
was 2005.
Okay.
I think it's because during that time period, I actually wrote a poem about it when I was that age. Like, I was convinced the drugs were going to kill me. So I just did everything someone gave me. I think that's why I don't remember a lot of it. Like, I told you a story, I woke up
You're
naked in the golf
disassociated?
course. Like,
See, I never experienced this kind of stuff.
I have no idea. To this day, I still don't know how I got there or where the fuck my pants went. But I woke up naked in a golf course.
I can honestly say I've never done that.
And I used to drink a lot. I went to rehab at 19. At 18 or 19? I just remember being the youngest one there. But I went in because people said, you gotta smarten up your act, you gotta do this. So I went in just to please other people, but with no real intention of doing it. So I
Yeah,
was
there
clean
was
for
that.
like 2-3 months.
At least you, at that point, knew you had an issue.
Yeah, like, I remember, the only thing that stands out for me from there was Jen came to visit me. My older sister Jen came to visit me. Thinking, I don't really want to get clean. I missed the drugs. She brought me a bag of candy.
What kind?
I don't remember, but it's sugary. But I remember thinking, like, you couldn't bring some fucking weed or something. Like, that was the first thought popped in my head. I was not
You
thinking.
ungrateful person.
I was just, well, thinking back now, like, of course she's not going to bring me drugs when I'm in here. But anyway, but at the time I was like, I ate it.
Did you thank her at least, man?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay.
Like, if I remember correctly, she even gave me a card. I think so.
She
But I
loves
don't
you.
remember. Like, then after all that, I turned to cocaine, which we've talked about a lot. Cocaine was my drug of choice.
Why is that? What do you think it did for you, huh?
I always called cocaine the best antidepressant, the most expensive antidepressant, but for me, it worked.
Are you familiar with the amphetamines and methamphetamates? They are also cheap bands.
I gotta
Cocaine.
try those, like,
And they give them to our
because
children.
I've tried antidepressants and stuff. They make me feel worse, and they cause sexual problems, which,
I don't have that issue. I just don't have
like,
that sexual
like
function.
I get none of the benefits from antidepressants, but I get side effects, and I wonder why everyone I try give me the same side effects. It's odd. Like, my doctor, every time I go in, it's doing this. Try this one. It's the same thing. So I just
Because
stopped.
they pretty
taking them.
much, most of them do have very similar side effects.
Then, for the head injury you were talking about, December 2nd, 2005. It's weird. I remember the date. I couldn't tell you what I had for supper that day, but I remember that day.
Well, that's after the head injury.
That's true. That's when I got hit by the car.
So were you married at the time?
No,
Okay.
hadn't even met her yet. But it is her father that did it. Did I ever tell you that?
The cruel irony there.
A lot of people make that joke. He ran you over for dating his daughter. He hit me 2 years before we got together.
He already knew. That's it.
That's
He
what I
probably
think.
knew. It's
He
like,
was
"You're
on his-
gonna marry my daughter!"
He was on his way to
Bam.
work. I was walking. He was in the car, so he won. But constant neck damage and shit like that. But don't want to go
Head
into too much
injuries.
detail there. So I got a head injury on top of the former drug problems and the depression and anxiety and OCD. I have trouble.
Your coping mechanisms is what
Yeah.
you're referring them.
I have trouble retaining new information. And
I get that.
see, I forget already. Retaining new information,
Brain parts?
remembering shit. I guess I don't know. My
You have
memory's
brain
got-
farts.
understanding what I'm reading. That's gotten worse since then too.
We're getting old.
Yeah. So when I do therapy, and like
How
stuff like
is
that,
How's therapy for you? Like, is it actually benefiting you, or
I was gonna get to that actually, because I was in therapy off and on for not a long time, but through like my parents first took me to one when I was like, I don't remember how old I was now,
a
but
kid?
then when I got older, I started going to one, but I never really took it seriously. The only one I really took seriously was the one I went to for OCD because of the compulsions I had. Like, every time I drive somewhere, I'd stop on the side of the road, get out and check all 4 tires because I was scared they were
I've heard
going to
that.
fall off. And, but on the way to and from work, everywhere I went, started doing that. Coins facing the same, everything. So she helped me with that stuff a lot. But she never once mentioned the intrusive thoughts, which interferes in my relationships.
Pure CD.
Yeah, my compulsiveness never interfered in one of my relationships before. It's the intrusive thoughts, but she never once even mentioned, do you have these thoughts? Just,
She
let's focus
probably
on
wasn't
this.
trauma informed,
Yeah.
per se.
Like, so I am looking for a new therapist, but okay.
Let's get back to where you were. So you were before marriage.
Yeah. Hit 2005. The guy who hit me, I ended up marrying his daughter like 4 years later, but we started dating
4
2 years
years. I
later.
thought you said 2 years.
No, we got together in 2007.
Okay.
But we got married in 2009. Our kid was born in 2008.
You were together prior.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not very long.
It doesn't matter. We're not here to judge. Are we now?
Okay, this is where it gets weird. Not weird, I guess. The whole fucking story's weird.
Intriguing, maybe another
But-
term we could use?
I had stuff I never knew I had, which I've talked about in my other channel. Remember when I first discovered the name for it? Like, holy fuck, I have that. Where you're jealous of your partner's past relationships.
That have nothing to do with...
Yeah, like, for some reason, I don't remember ever doing it before my ex-wife. Like, I'm not saying I didn't, I just don't remember because of the head shit. Because she was my first real relationship after the accident.
Okay, that makes
So,
sense.
but it didn't happen right away.
So you
Once we
blamed the
started to
head
get
trauma?
serious. No,
I
that's
know,
all
I'm just
saying.
joking. I'm just joking.
But
I'm talking about head trauma.
I started
from
asking
marriage.
questions and stuff like that, and after like 6 months, it went away. I mean, but it was just like 2 months ago where I discovered there's a name for it, and I started watching videos after videos. Retroactive jealousy.
Yeah, I never heard it till now.
Yeah, like
But it makes logical sense.
I remember watching a video by mistake. Like, holy shit! I thought I was the only one that did that. I really did thought I was alone. Then there's a whole community out there that has the same issue. And you get these mental videos in your head of your partner with past people, even though you don't know what those past people look like.
I don't get mental images.
Well, you're lucky. Because you've seen it when it comes over my face. Like, we can be in the middle of stuff and it just... Not voluntarily, obviously.
You disconnect.
Yeah, like she could see it in my eyes, like he
I
went
can
somewhere
feel it
else.
in the energy.
And so we were together. I was with her when I went to the therapy for the OCD. That's right. And when I was with her is when a lot of the memories started coming back about the abuse and stuff like that.
Okay.
It just gradually, I think I repressed it all those years with the drugs and the alcohol. And
The
so
coping mechanisms.
2022 was when we try to have a date night once a month.
Mhm.
Because I believe that's
Makes
important.
sense.
In a relationship, have a date night, no kids, nothing, just you and your spouse to keep the spark up and the romance alive, I guess. I'm corny as shit. Anyway,
Nice, not corny.
we had the kid went away for the weekend. We did our usual movie, dinner. Yeah. Like, to be perfectly honest, yes. We'd actually watch porn together and
Yeah.
do it out in the living room because you can't do that with kids there.
No.
So we do that, like, normal weekend for me, I guess. And then decide, oh, kids should stay at Grammy's again tonight. So we end up having a date night again. And as I told you, everything was normal. She kissed me off to work the next day. I got a text at work, I'm getting a divorce.
What year was this?
2022, the day after
Okay.
your birthday.
The irony.
It actually is weird, the day after her birthday. I didn't know that at the time, but yeah, August 28th, 2022. The day before, we were doing what we usually do. I had just gone pick up the boxes of Elvis stuff I brought over. I should show them that someday. Anyway, I got Elvis
So,
stuff.
how did she, tell us again, just in case.
How she told me?
How did she tell you again?
in order to get the Elvis stuff, I'd agreed to get rid of some of my collectibles and toys and stuff like that. So let's set up at the flea market next weekend. This actually does have something to do with the story.
I should hope so.
So let's set up. So we were messaging each other back and forth. Like, do you know, for some reason I got it in my head, like, what if we go there all day and there's not a bathroom? That was in my head for some reason. The weird shit goes on in my head. So I texted her, do you know if this place has a bathroom? And I waited hours for her to come back. She said no. And then another couple of hours, like, this is weird. Like, I said, are you okay? Like, is everything all right? A couple hours later, all I got back was a text saying, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to see a lawyer tomorrow and asking for a divorce. I found out through text while I was at work.
That's very... She may have her reasons, but I don't agree with that myself.
Like, I don't agree with how she did it at all.
No.
The only thing that bothers me about it, like, I understand she had her reasons. Like, we've talked about it. I've owned up to my shit. Like the sex addiction and all this stuff, my anxiety and all that. The thing that bothered me is not once did she sit, like, you need to get help.
She probably didn't understand herself.
Like, she let
sticking
on
up
to
for
me,
her.
she was perfectly happy.
That's wrong.
Like, everything was fine. To me, nothing was wrong. We just had a healthy sex life. We were happy.
You
And
didn't even have... Hold on, wait. Did you not tell me that she wasn't overly affectionate
she's
to
not
you?
very affectionate. Like,
So
as far
how
as
could it be
hugging
a
and
healthy
kissing,
sex life without
well,
being overly affectionate?
just the simple fact we had sex. But not much hugging and stuff like that.
So lack of intimacy.
Yeah, lack of intimacy.
Okay.
Which at the time I didn't realize I was missing. Like, I know, like, I like hugging, I like kissing and stuff like that. Cuddling, you know that. I
Would
love
she-
to cuddle.
What? Hold on. Did you not tell me something about her? You would ask
Oh, yeah.
for a hug.
I don't want to get on how you're badmouth people.
You're not bad mouthing. I'm asking
Like,
questions to get
At
the
the time, I
information.
didn't understand what it
Mhm.
was.
Obviously.
Like, can I have a hug? Like, didn't we just hug a few hours ago? Like, didn't I just give you a hug a while ago? Like, I didn't really think about it at the time. Like, I was
Some
starving
people
for
aren't over-
affection, you know what I mean?
Some
Like,
people are overly affectionate.
it
That's
bothers
obvious.
me, but at the same time, as I've come to actually take my therapy seriously, I realize we just have different love languages, that's all.
Mhm.
Like, it took me a long time to realize it after she left. Like, as you know, she left. I waited a year for her to come back. She didn't. I knew deep down, I knew she wouldn't.
It's probably
But
for the best, though.
I started therapy, but I wasn't taking it seriously.
Mhm.
Like, I've made no secret about it. I told you. I went home from work one Thursday night, took a handful of sleeping pills. Didn't think I was going to wake up. Obviously, I did because I'm talking right now. And then work forced me to take 5 weeks off to get help. And even then, I wasn't taking it seriously because I was not planning on being here this year.
Right. And just for now, 5 weeks is nothing to help when it comes to your mental health. Like,
Yeah, I realize that now, too. Like,
and for those people out there, bosses, remember that. Because it's important to have a healthy mind. Healthy minds, you have happier workers.
5 weeks isn't even enough to get started. Like, I've been off work now since April this time, and I'm still, like, I've made improvements this year.
How do you feel about yourself, though? Like, internally. How are you starting to feel? What have you learned thus far in your journey to now?
Thus far,
Mhm.
for the first time in my life, I realize I am worth the fight.
That's good.
Like, I never realized that before. Like I said, I didn't think I was going to be here this year, so I didn't take it seriously. And then, December 23rd, 2023, I was looking through Facebook for some reason.
I think that's the day my grandmother died.
And that's the day I asked you out on a date.
I mean,
Yeah, but
when I was a child,
Like,
I think it was the
I was like,
23rd.
I used to have a crush on her in school. I wonder if she's single. So I said, I was thinking about asking you out on a date, and she didn't laugh at me.
No.
I was like, it honestly took me off guard. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I sat there for a while, like, should I actually ask her out then? Because she didn't laugh at me. So I asked her out. She said yes, and December 29th. And as I told her, I bought flowers,
It was so sweet.
almost threw them out the window on the way here.
I'm glad he didn't.
And then I pulled in the driveway, which oddly enough is 2 roads over from where my ex-wife lives. And where my ex-wife and I used to live, I should say. She's still there. And I almost pulled her out of the driveway after like 5 minutes, and thankfully I didn't. I ended up coming in, but I was worried she'd open the door and laugh like you thought I was fucking serious.
I kind of chuckled a little bit because I thought it was sweet about the flowers, not because the other
I am
reason.
kind of old-fashioned in some ways.
Yes.
Like, I try and be romantic, I
Just
try and be a
realistic.
gentleman, but I have my issues, I own them.
Mhm.
I got a lot of work to do.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're here, but I wouldn't be taking my therapy seriously, actually, if it wasn't for you making me see that I'm worth it. That I am worth fighting for. I'm not what was instilled in my head when I was a kid. That's not me. Because I thought this was me. This is me. The anxiety, depression, this is just who I'm always going to be. You know what I mean? That's who I thought I was always going to be. And she made me realize that's not who you are.
And how was that this allegedly happened?
That you made me realize it?
Yes.
Just by listening to you. I don't know how to explain it.
Okay.
I'm not that good at explaining myself since the accident and shit.
He has a hard time articulating, which is something I do as well when it comes to certain things.
Yeah.
So.
Because I told her about all my issues and stuff. Like, our first date ended up being until like 3 in the morning.
It was great. I loved it.
We ended up going to Digby for no reason, just out of the
Fun.
blue. Yeah, I love Digby.
Pool.
Yeah, we went to Chinese food, went to play pool, ended up in Digby, got coffee,
Came
got
back.
home. I remember on the way there, I had to stop on the side of the road to pee. Got stuck behind some old people because it was kind of snowy and slushy.
Kind of.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're old, but they were going slow. So, we've been together since. We officially started dating, I think, New Year's Day. That's what we're saying, New Year's Day.
January 1st,
That's right.
2024. The year of karma, ironically enough.
But we've known each other for 30 years. Like, because I had a crush on her back in school. And she helped me realize that I am worth fighting for. And make me... I used to have a kind of a fear of mirrors. I think, if I recall correctly, first time you mentioned it, I cried. Like, look in the mirror, and like, it freaked me out. Like, I shave in the shower or something where there's no mirror. Which I'm getting better at. Because I keep missing spots anyway.
I miss spots and I see them with my own eyes, so it's okay.
So now we're together. We are talking about getting married, but not until this stuff's worked out.
Insecurities in relationships are not healthy for those relationships.
I'm very insecure, which one thing I never even talked about that I meant to is the fact I've been cheated on a lot. I've had girls convince me I was absolutely crazy
Well, you are. You're human.
when I seen stuff like that looks really like, oh, you're imagining things. Then she told me later it actually was what I thought it was. Like, I told you that before. Like, oh, he's just my gay friend. Don't worry about him. Then find out, yeah, they are.
I am different from those people and have no desire for anybody else.
That's the thing.
I get desire for him. I'm just joking.
My brain tells me that she's different. Like, part of my brain tells me, okay, she's going to be the one that's going to be loyal and shit. But it's that other part of my brain with the OCD, the intrusive thoughts, and
the
all
one
this
that's
shit.
trying
Like,
to protect you from
why-
something that you fear.
what makes you think she's going to be different? Like, this one told you that too, and look what happened. That's what my other side of my brain's, like, trying to tell me. And I haven't been in my therapy for a little bit because it's expensive. I'm trying to get a new one. I do have an appointment on August 20th with someone new, which is actually in person because mine was online, which is not the same. If you ever have an option to go to therapy and they give you a choice in person or online, go in person.
Yes.
It is a lot better. Like, nothing against the one I was seeing before, but I'd rather go in and have that personal
Interconnection.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
You're more apt to be able to feel their vibe.
And see if it's a good fit anyway, that first initial one. Then I called another one today. Supposed to find out.
Oh. As to fears and stuff, what have you done?
I got in the water
And why is that so awesome?
because I have a big fear of water. I've had a fear of water for as long as I can remember, to the point where I didn't even like my ears getting wet. Like, I would freak out if my ears got wet. You know how hard it is to shower without your ears getting wet?
No.
No, it's not easy. But I just always had this fear of water. I slowly started to get in. I didn't do it right away. Like, started with my ankles and working my way out. Like, I think last time I was like a little bit above my belly button. So I'm proud of myself. I'm trying to conquer each fear. Heights is going to be a hard one. I have no idea when that even started.
Heights? This is how I look at heights. I look at heights as, I'm not afraid of the height. I'm afraid of the impact that my body could possibly have if I hit the ground.
Well, if I look down, I get dizzy and shit. Like, I've actually
I can't
passed
wait
out.
to tell the story about my fear of heights and the day I faced that. That'll be on my story.
Yeah. We're gonna do hers. We're gonna try and do a video every Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
unless we get somebody suggests a topic or something. In the meantime, we'll do extra ones here and there.
I'm not going to overwhelm myself for a video.
No.
Sorry.
It's just a chance to get all stuff out, and give them an idea of like our relationship. Because I don't want people to watch us thinking their relationship must be perfect if they're giving advice. No.
Oh, hell no.
We have
It's
our
not.
struggles. My insecurity is a big issue.
And my personality is a very assertive personality, and it gets confused a lot
I think
for aggressiveness.
insecurity is my biggest problem, and then the OCD, intrusive thoughts, on top of it. Because I get insecure and worried, and then the OCD, I obsess over it. Like, to me, everything can look suspicious. Like, because we're in an age now where people are kind of glued to their fucking cell phones. It's sad, but
Kind
true.
of.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst addictions ever. It's been proven to be an addiction, and it's okay for society to have it, but it's not really okay for society to have it. People need to have the interconnection of people and be in nature. It is not in our nature to be without nature.
So we've been walking. We were going to see waterfalls. Because my whole life, where it was all drugs and this and that, like, I didn't live. I know people think, you must have had an exciting life because I was high all the time. No. I didn't go anywhere. Like, my whole life was stuck between Halifax and Middleton. Until, like, last
Really?
year. Yeah. Like,
Then why won't you drive to Halifax? Like,
oh, I didn't drive to Halifax. Other people drove. And that was only to go to the hospital and stuff like that when I had, like, surgeries done. Like, my whole life was between Halifax and Middleton until when I went to Digby by myself last year was my furthest I've ever been.
you've been to Yarmouth?
Yeah, that was after I went to Digby.
Yes. You've been to
Yeah.
Yarmouth?
But I said up till that point. Except for I did go to Lunenburg. But that's the opposite direction. We went to the Fisheries Museum. That's right. But that was only 5-6 years ago. So we have plans to go around Canada, camping around Canada.
Going seeing not the towns, not the cities,
avoiding
but the other
cities,
places
yeah.
that.
That's our plan. Once the kids are a little bit older, and
No, we're going to do it. It's not.
yeah,
No choice. It's happening one way or another. It's going to happen.
should be fun. Figure it's gonna take a while.
It's going to be fun.
Spend what, a week in each province. Except for the really small provinces, may not take as long. The bigger ones might.
You mean
take
like
a little
Nova
bit
Scotia?
Yeah.
The one we live in?
Nunavut.
Nunavut. Historical facts. Yeah.
We want to see
historical
the
places.
sights, avoid cities as much, so we can see stars. You
And
can't
maybe
see nice-
haunted houses and abandoned
Yeah.
places too. That would excite me. It'd be so awesome.
If you're watching and you're in Canada, if you know any historical sites in your province, let us know.
Yes.
Because we've been Googling it, but you only see so much online.
Any haunted houses, abandoned places, anything to do with history and stuff, please feel free to comment and put on in below. Or email us, because you know what? You only live life every day you wake up.
That's right. And as usual, we're going to put the email in the description below if you have a topic you'd like us to discuss, or if you have any questions about anything.
We'll be as real as possible, and if we don't want to share it online, we possibly will email it back or respond privately, because you know what, some things are just not for everybody.
Yeah.
But on this note, what are you grateful for today?
Today? Today I'm actually grateful for rain.
It's a good thing to be grateful for, considering we need water to live.
Yeah, rain, trees, and wind. That's all. Yeah.
I am grateful for Mother Earth. Father Time is constructed by man, but Mother Earth was made by something that is out of this world. And I am very appreciative of the land that is here for us to live on.
Yep. Two more things?
Do I have two more things? Oh, sure. I'm grateful for the stars, because without them we wouldn't have heat like the sun is a star. And I am grateful for the universe itself, because without it I wouldn't exist myself. So
So that's my story, kind of condensed in a half an hour. I mean, there's probably a lot more I could have gone into, but I didn't want to give every single detail and about some of the stuff. And
Yeah.
so that's it. So next week you'll hear her story. That's right. As much as she wants to share anyway, but enough so the people understand why we're doing this, I guess.
It's a journey.
Yeah.
Life's a journey.
So till next time, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.